Hey, and don't forget, before I get into everything, here's a couple things that are happening from a coaching perspective on my page. And this is some things that you might want to consider being super new. If you're super new to cycling, you can go to my 4-hour cycling skills intensive, and that is going to cover everything you need to know skill-wise for cycling. So it goes right down to the fundamentals and the basics and the foundation, which is your pedal stroke. So you take that, you learn what that is, you practice it, and then we're going to apply hill climbing skills and drills and how it's all going to apply together. And then strength, power, and speed. And then we finish it off with nutrition. If you don't have good nutrition, your performance will suffer at some point in time. It's inevitable. So I always like to add that in because nobody really adds that in. And then we are going to be starting on-site bike maintenance clinics this spring and summer, and learn to group ride clinics as well. So make sure that you're in tuned to my podcast and to my website, sylviedao.ca, for all those spring clinics to get into. That they're like, I've been teaching these for like 13 years with the club, and these ladies absolutely kill it, the ones who attend. So with that, enjoy the episode. Hey, welcome everyone to another episode of Secrets from the Saddle, all things cycling, and your coach's tip for this week. And I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. This is late, as you know, and on Friday I was working, and I'm like, and I always leave this to the last minute because I'm like, oh yeah, I'll have lots of time. And really, it always comes down to Friday morning. What am I going to talk about? And I'm telling you, first of all, I almost forgot. And second of all, I could not think of one thing to talk about. And then I start Googling, and I have some magazines, and I'm like, I could, for the life of me, I didn't want to talk about anything. And I don't know if you've ever had like a block like that, but anyways, I had a block, like a real block. And then yesterday morning, Saturday, I was on my training, and I just started thinking about all these things. And that's what happens when I train. It's like my mind opens up, and I had all these ideas racing. I quickly got a piece of paper, and I'm going to show you. I've got do you see that? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different episodes for coaches of ideas. And it was just amazing how they started flooding in. I don't know if it was anyways, it always happens. So here we go today. And I think this is kind of relevant to right now, spring, March. The melt's happening. The roads are opening up. And all of us are just literally moving from the trainer to the road. We're kind of no more trainer time. We've had enough of the trainer. Now let's get on the road. So here are 3 things to starting your spring cycling off safely, because we always have to remember cars and vehicles and drivers are not used to being and seeing cyclists, and so we just have to think about some things to keep us safe. And I'm sure you can think of other ones, but here are some of the main ones that I was thinking of, just from being a cyclist myself and being a motorist myself and seeing everybody and, realistically the conditions that are currently on the road. So here's number 1. Remember, cyclists, just because you've been in on the trainer and you've been hammering it out and you think you're invincible on screen, you're not invincible off screen and on the road. We have to think about going back to road safety and respecting the rules of the road, because you are a traveling vehicle, and no, you are not allowed to blow through stop signs like cars are not. Respecting lights and having patience and not thinking that You can just go through that. And yes, the kids are upstairs. You can just blast through that too, because why should you wait? I mean, this goes for the whole summer, literally. And we've already heard, cyclists getting tickets for running stop signs. And why shouldn't you? So think about that. Respect the rules of the road. Okay. Pretend you're a car. Would you do that? And if you would, I don't know why you're still alive. Okay, so you have to think about things like that. Being super vigilant. Actually, I'm just going to add that one to last. All right, number 2 is respect the motorist. So I'm going to talk about a little area that's close to me. It's a popular road between 2 villages. It's a small single lane road. It's a double single lane road with no shoulders. And there's a lot of cyclists out. And the thing is, in our province of Quebec, double echelon is illegal. You have to single file it. So where we're starting to see is that a lot of people are out, they're riding in big groups, and they're taking up the whole road, which is totally disrespectful for motorists and make them very angry. Can we just say that motorists get, myself included, as a motorist coming on a big group that is totally disrespectful of the rules, and it takes, a long time for them to decide to go into a single file so that I or any other car can pass safely. And, we want to be safe. We don't want to, as a cyclist, you don't want to, have a motorist get angry at you. That's not what your purpose is. We all want to be here together. And the thing is that some motorists decide to honk the horn, which is the worst thing that anybody could do. It really scares and it's startling. And if you've ever been startled by a honk, you know what I'm talking about. So be respectful in these areas to the road, and respecting that motorists are going to be on that road with you. And you should quickly get into a single line or get close enough to each other that you are not riding 3 abreast and things like that. Okay, so if you're in your province, whatever's the rules of the road, whether it's double if you can. So Ontario is yes, Quebec is no. So if that means you've got a large group, you have to break them up into smaller groups to ride safely. Right? And that makes everybody happy and safe. So remember that. Where you are, check the rules, and respect. Just because you're a cyclist doesn't mean that you are the ruler of the road. Okay? Let's just put it there. All right. Number 3, ride with caution. And this just goes back to what I was saying. It's time for you to get comfortable riding close to the white line. Is it the white line? It's the white line. The yellow line is in the middle of the road. All right. And not to be all over the middle of the road. That is not, so being respectful, I understand. And we all know that in the spring, the roads are not all cleared and cleaned. The back roads and secondary roads are usually the last ones that are cleaned. So you have to ride with caution. Get used to riding in the sand, in a little bit of gravel. Okay. That you're going to find that everywhere. It's not all going to be perfect. So just ride with caution. And like I said, always go in your double or single, ride closer to your partner, get used to that, just so that you can tighten up when you have a car coming by you, and ride with confidence, and always be aware of your surroundings. I'm just going to put all that into number 3. Always be kind of looking behind if you have. Get yourself a little mirror. It is not uncool to know what's happening behind you. We've heard of enough of, accidents happening from behind. So if you can add like a little mirror to your handlebars, to your glasses, to your helmet, it is a safe, uncool thing to do. If that makes you feel better, don't ever let anybody criticize you because you know what's going to happen behind before the next person. All right. And so I added vigilant, and that just goes to say, with regards to being, aware of your surroundings, people coming in front, coming back, 2 cars approaching each other when you guys are there. So, what do? You quickly move into your single echelon and keep going. So with that, have an amazing, safe spring. Please share with your friends. Please take these things into consideration and have an amazing day. Thank you so much for spending this time with me on the Secrets from the Saddle podcast, learning more about sighting people, places, and things that make cycling such an exciting sport. I am so glad you stopped by today. Please leave me a review if you feel so moved to do so. I would love to hear your feedback. And if you could take 1 second to share this episode with someone you think would enjoy it, I would be forever grateful. Also, if you could please leave me a review if you feel so moved by going to iTunes and leaving me an honest thought and an honest comment, telling me what you think, and most importantly, tell me what you'd like to hear more of. It would really help me to bring more great, inspiring cycling stories to you. Until then, have an amazing day, make sure you ride your bike, and don't forget to visit my YouTube channel if you'd like to see the full version of this podcast live.